driving across the Los Angeles metropolitan area can be an experience. Although, coming from South Florida, it is not so bad, really. Today we are going to begin in the Santa Ynez Valley area, which is a wine region made famous by the 2004 movie Sideways. I'm riding in my RV, wherever I want to be, 'cause I'm free in my RV. Yeah. Here we are, Flying Flags RV Resort in Buellton, California. And since it is Friday, I am going to do my customary live stream. Well, hello everybody. Today checking in from California. And after some days boondocking in the desert, we've decided to, relax for a while here, glamping. Yep, that was a fun, if a little short, live stream. We even had a gopher as a guest star. Music by Hialeah Sound Machine. There's the gopher. There you go. Huh. We are going to what is possibly the most famous restaurant here in town, the Hitching Post. Due to the aforementioned Sideways movie, some of the most prominent scenes happened at the bar. Well, this is the famous Hitching Post from the movie. Well, this is the Hitching Post bar from the movie. First things first, dinner. We are famished. The brook veggies. Some local Pinot Noir, because that's what you do, right? Soup of the day. House salad. Some turf, some surf, and yeah, it was delicious. The only negative was maybe the somewhat condescending waitress, but it is what it is. Let's sit here where Miles and Jack sat in the movie. Let's have a digestif. The very well-appointed bar is decorated with a picture of the two leading ladies in the movie. Okay, let's go. Well, that was the Hitching Post of Sideways fame. Of course, our waitress was a little cranky, but it is what it is. The food was excellent, and actually we ate. We sat at the bar where Miles and his friend, you've seen the movie probably, and if you haven't, check it out. Sideways. Village Pavilion.
Where every day is a gift.
Well, yeah, every day is a gift. You could be a tree. We begin our day by driving around the campground a little bit before heading out. It is supposed to be really nice. They have all these cottages with names of wine regions and varietals. They are really milking the wine motif for all it's worth, as they should. We're going to the next town, which is really less than 4 miles away, and it is called Solvang. Sunny fields in Danish. The town was actually founded back in 1911 by a group of Danes who came fleeing the Midwestern winters. The architecture, wait till you see it, it's very cute, all the facades in the traditional Danish style. and a bunch of Danish bakeries and restaurants and... did I mention tasting rooms? Wine tasting rooms? Yep. I told you it was a cute town. Anyways, let's park. How about an espresso? Well, I ended up with a fancy cappuccino. Let's explore and peep through holes.
No, maybe I can call Cuba. Oh, no, it's not working.
Cheese. Okay, let's do a wine tasting.
Oh, no, it's a fake one.
We're gonna do a wine tasting inside the windmill. How about that? It's pretty good, and we get to keep the glass. Let's check out the old Mission Santa Ynez here.
This was from the Spanish times.
We changed our minds. We're not actually gonna go into the mission. Let's go back to Denmark instead. We couldn't leave without eating at a bakery, right? And they all seem legit, so let's check this one out. What to get? Look, they have a map of Denmark.
Oldest kingdom in the world, who would have thunk it?
Okay, one more tasting. We're in the mood for Mexican, so we're gonna go to this place right next to the RV park called Taco Rocco. They're looking for a cook.
Quesadilla, un burrito.
The food was delicious, but something about it didn't settle too well. I mean, it could have been the Danish waffle or the combination for all we know, but we didn't feel well for the rest of the day. In fact, we felt pretty bad. We also had some pretty loud neighbors. Let's just say it was definitely a lively weekend evening at the RV park.
Well, time to go. We didn't do nearly, not even a quarter of the things we had planned to do here at this, in this area, in this campground. We didn't even get to see much of the campground. But you know what? Sometimes you need a break, and we'll be back someday. I mean, we've been here before.
Take the next left onto 5th Street, then turn left.
There's no left, Google lady. Alright, let's go to Rincon Parkway campground, which will be a first for us.
After going through the Gaviota Pass, we are once again on the Pacific coast. Here we are, Rincon Parkway, and this is our site.
So this is where we're gonna spend the night. Rincon Parkway. Right next to the Pacific Ocean.
I just can't believe tonight this is going to be the soundtrack of our dreams. The crashing waves of the Pacific.
Maybe I'll get down there later today. Such an idyllic place.
Well, yeah, we made it to Rincon Parkway, and this was kind of a bucket list item for us ever since we did the Pacific Coast Highway back in 2012. Was it 2012? I think it was in 2012. And we saw all these RVs parked here on the side of the road, and we said one day we're gonna have an RV and we're gonna park at Rincon Parkway. And 7 years later, here we are.
And I have a feeling it's gonna be a beautiful sunset today here in California.
We walked here to the nearby Feria Beach Park just to check it out. This one had easier beach access. Ooh, almost. Who knows? Next time, we might stay here instead. Although, unless we really need hookups, I think I like our campground better.
These are full hookups down here, which is quite nice actually. Okay, the cell phone tower is... it's a palm tree.
There's a great view of the Channel Islands and the oil rigs. And it is going to be a great sunset. We have a train running next to us, which might be noisy at night. We'll see. There's a Rincon Island, which is artificial, constructed back in the 1950s, mainly for drilling for oil and gas. Check it out, my neighbor has a drone too. There's that fog rolling in.
That's pretty cool, all the oil rigs illuminated at night.
And there goes the train. Alright, we're gonna go have some In-N-Out burgers and call it a night.
Good morning from Rincon Parkway.
It's a little cloudy this morning. Must be that California marine layer. Let's go to Santa Barbara. We've been there before, but we didn't get to see much the last time around. I still can't believe we were able to camp right here, by the ocean. I believe Rincon Parkway used to be first come, first served, but nowadays you have to make a reservation at the Ventura County website, and I think it is better this way. One of the places we couldn't visit when we were here back in 2012 was the Mission Santa Barbara. So that's what we're going to do first. And there it is, the Santa Barbara Mission, founded in 1786, although the current building was finished in 1820, after the original was destroyed by an earthquake. Let's park Wow, cool vintage van conversion, I guess. Well, made it all the way here. Let's do the tour. We begin here at the Sacred Garden.
I feel like I'm back in Arizona. An ox cart.
I guess the cemetery is next. Must be through here. Here we are, the cemetery, laid out in 1789 after the original church was completed. It is quite an interesting cemetery to walk around, with all these historic graves and a pretty pleasant garden as well. Nice views too.
Quiero descansar con los que tanto amé. De la Guerra de Oro. Juana Maria. Following her rescue from St. Nicholas Island, where she was abandoned and survived for 18 years.
Yeah, that's a pretty incredible story, isn't it?
Let's see the skulls. The skull and crossbones was a traditional sign for marking a cemetery in Spanish colonial times.
Let's step into the church, which, although not original, it is apparently very close to the original, as it appeared in 1820. There is the altar, typical mission style with colored background, and the statue of the patron saint in the center.
Grapevine from 1800.
We're gonna walk through the museum here real quick, and then we're going to continue.
Treasures of Mission Santa Barbara.
There's the original altar and tabernacle from 1786.
Melodram.
and we are back outside. One last look inside the church from the main entrance. Wow, we can see all the way to the ocean and all the oil rigs out there. And all of a sudden, the sun came out and we've got blue skies. It's going to be a great day. I was always under the impression that the Mission Santa Barbara would look older or more worn out. Maybe I've been looking at an older picture or something.
There it is. Vintage Mercedes bus.
It does have a German license plate. We're gonna do a little more exploring here, going up the mountain. Nice neighborhoods up here in the hills of Santa Barbara, huh? Here we are, approaching the Inspiration Point trailhead. I'm just going to get out and taking the view. We'll do the trails some other time. Really not in the hiking mood today. Besides, we didn't come prepared.
Perhaps we'll do the trail one of these days, but not today.
Let's head back down to the coast. There is this restaurant I have marked on my map. It is supposed to be really good. I mean, we're not really hungry, but we could use some refreshments. And here we are. It's called Boat House at Venice Beach. Looks fancy.
Yeah, there's plenty.
We're just gonna sit at the bar.
It is called Nelson IPA from the Alpine Beer Company.
Was that a whale? Someone did yell, whale! Wouldn't it be cool if we saw a whale here, right? There it is again. Looks like a dolphin to me, but I'm not an expert. If the locals say it was a whale, maybe it was. Perhaps an orca, I don't know. Very refreshing on this beautiful day here at, what's it called?
This is called the Boat House.
And this is Venice Beach. Very nice, it seems. Apparently a popular place to bring your dog because they can be off-leash, as you can see. There they are again. Correct me if I'm wrong, but they still look like dolphins to me.
They look like dolphins to me.
I mean, dolphins don't usually stay floating, bobbing up and down like that, so maybe. In any case, it's really cool we get to see them. According to the Book of Knowledge, this is officially called Arroyo Burro Beach County Park, an oceanfront beach with seasonal lifeguards and a grassy area for picnicking, and it does allow off-leash dogs. We continue. Look, it looks like there is RV parking here to the right. I had read somewhere that RVs were not allowed to park in Santa Barbara, but now we know there is at least one place. Let's check out Stearns Wharf, self-proclaimed Santa Barbara's #1 tourist spot. Although I doubt we are going to partake in any of the activities they offer. We're just looking forward to a nice, leisurely stroll along the beach. We're not even hungry yet. In fact, I think we're still a little sick from a couple of days ago. You know, the pastries, the waffles, the burrito. Too much information, perhaps?
Moby Dick. Say what?
Let me tell you, I kind of wish we were hungry because this is all very tempting. By the way, very pretty, Santa Barbara. All right, let's go. This is so quintessentially California, at least the way you imagine it after seeing it in movies or playing GTA 5. Let's drive around a little bit before heading east towards LA. Yes, you heard correctly, that's where we're going. Very nice, beautiful downtown in what has turned out to be a beautiful day. Why are we going back to Los Angeles, you might ask? Well, unfortunately, Illy is flying back to Miami from LAX tonight. So I'll be traveling solo the rest of the way. Kind of bummed out about it, but for now, let's just enjoy the rest of the day and celebrate. Let's go back to Minitini to take a break. Our rear neighbor left and we have a new neighbor in front. We're gonna stop here in Oxnard real quick because I have a package to pick up at the Amazon locker, which, by the way, is a great way to receive packages on the road as long as they come from Amazon and as long as they are not too big. It's like magic.
That's it?
Malibu, here we come. This here is called County Line Beach, very popular with surfers. Paradise Cove Beach Cafe, that's where we're going. We had brunch here many years ago. This has changed. I don't think we had to pay for parking the last time around. It is our last day together for a while, so we'll splurge. Table with a view, clam chowder. Illy got the tuna melt, and I got the swordfish sandwich.
Swordfish, gonna be a daunting task.
Well, this is Paradise Cove. Excellent restaurant. Outrageously expensive, but sometimes, you know, you get what you paid for. It was quality food. And I think we were here I know we were here like 7 years ago. And back then the parking was free. Now you have to pay $8. I mean, but tell you what, it is Illy's last dinner here with me on this trip in California. So we had to splurge at least for one day, right? And it was worth it. Definitely. Now we're going to Venice Beach and then to LAX.
It looks like you eat well.
Yeah, these birds probably eat better than we do.
There we go, Paradise Cove.
Yeah, it is kind of a special place. Let's walk under the bridge. We would love to linger, but we gotta go. Illy's got a plane to catch, and we still wanna pass by Venice.
Oh, by the way, parking here at Paradise Cove, $8 after validation. Otherwise, it is like something.
Turn right onto Cove Road, then turn right.
Otherwise, it's something outrageous like $30. But you know, I don't mean to sound like a cheapskate. And by the way, it was totally worth it because it is a special occasion. We are here in Southern California.
Turn right toward Paradise Cove
In
Road,
Malibu,
then turn
and I
left.
have no idea where the exit. Oh, it's that way. We're in Malibu.
Turn left toward Paradise Cove Road, then turn right onto Paradise Cove Road. Turn right onto Paradise Cove Road.
Insert tickets. Here we go.
If you've ever played GTA 5, some of this whole coast might look kind of familiar. Of course, there is a lot more to come. Nice house, huh? I Zillowed it. $9.5 million is the Zestimate as of early 2019 here. Not bad. Not bad at all. There's the Santa Monica Pier. Man, I wish we had time to walk the pier. It is the end of Route 66 after all, but we really want to go to Venice, buy a couple of t-shirts, and then time's up. Check it out, Black Prius again. That's gotta be a glitch in the Matrix. Anyways, here we are. This is the famous Venice Beach Boardwalk, and sunset is upon us. This here, of course, is the famous skate park. It is always fun to watch the skaters do their thing. It is going to be once again a great sunset, isn't it? We must be approaching Muscle Beach. Yep, here it is. Perhaps too late in the day.
Muscle Beach.
Okay, we got our t-shirts, so let's get out of here. It is starting to get a little sketchy as the sun goes down, believe it or not. It is the peak of rush hour traffic, so Google Maps is taking us through all these residential back streets. I don't really mind, and let me tell you, very nice townhouses.
LAX.
Well, yes, here we are, LAX, but we are super early, so we have some time to kill. We didn't want to take a chance with rush hour traffic, so we came really early. This here, Sepulveda Boulevard, and the tunnel that goes under the runway. And we're back at the airport. This reminds me so much of GTA 5. Can't recall how many times I came here, in the game of course, to grab a plane, fly around a little bit. It is a huge airport, LAX. Just like that, I'm by myself again.
Are you lonesome tonight? Well, yeah, glad you asked.
2 hours later, here I am. Well, good morning from the Rincon Parkway campground here, near Ventura, California. And it looks like the weather might change here in the next couple of days.
Yep, definitely gonna miss this campsite.
Was just chatting with my neighbor, a very nice guy, and now what I'm going to do, I have about an hour before I can get out of here, so I'm going to go into Ventura.
I haven't really done much research, but it is usually a good idea to look for the high ground. You know, get a lay of the land. Seems to be a pretty popular hike, and from what I can see, the views are gonna be pretty fabulous.
Well, this is what we came to see. The cross. Although, what we really came to see, it's the view from the cross.
Well, yeah, that's an amazing view. Here's looking towards the other side, towards the west. Spectacular bird's eye view. Citrus groves, perhaps? Let's head back down. By the way, this is called the Sierra Cross, also referred to as the Cross on the Hill or Grant Park Cross. I am really glad I visited. And now we're gonna go to Surfer's Point, which is one of the beaches we saw from up high. Here we are, Surfer's Point. Definitely popular for surfing, although it doesn't look like the waves are cooperating much today. If I had more time, I would definitely check out that pier. Check it out! That's where we were just a couple of minutes ago. There we go, finally a decent wave. Not really. Time's up. This has definitely got to be my top 10 campsites ever, even if it is only dry camping. Although, I haven't been everywhere yet, so that list might change. It is time to leave this idyllic place. And crazy weather, huh? It was cloudy, then sunny, now it is cloudy again. Hold on, I think I forgot to lock my basement. As I was saying, the journey continues as we say goodbye to the Pacific Ocean. But don't despair, we aren't leaving Southern California yet. The adventure continues. On the next video, we will visit some famous filming locations, the City of Angels itself, and we might even visit some hot springs and lava fields. Who knows? So stay tuned. By the way, as you probably noticed, this video was filmed in late January 2019. But if you want to keep up to date with my current whereabouts, make sure you follow me on Instagram @TravelingRobert. Until next time, thank you so much for watching and see you on the road.
I'll tell you what, editing this video really put me in the mood to play some GTA 5, so if you all don't mind,